Can you visible my slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, all of you. In the first year, second semester, you are studying soil properties and processes, which under the Department of Agricultural Chemistry. Did you participate any lecturers previously under this course title?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, then you know about that course title now. What are the soil properties? What do you think about soil properties? Can anyone tell me?
Soil physical property, soil chemical property.
Yeah, there are two types, physical properties and chemical properties. Can anyone give me the examples for that, physical properties and chemical properties?
Under the physical properties, then
Color.
Water movement, water filtration, soil density.
Yeah, there are so many physical and chemical properties you have to study under this course title. These are the some titles that you studied in your practical sessions and as well as in your theory. You will look at these titles, then you can get an idea about what are the physical properties and chemical properties you are going to study. Can anyone read it? Yes. Can you indicate that property? Then it's enough. That bulk density. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. That. Yes. Organic matter content. Yeah. Soil pH and electrical conductivity. Yes. Yes. Then biological status of the soil. These are the things that you are going to study under this course title, that physical and chemical soil properties. Okay. Today mainly we focusing about the bulk density of the soil and the particle density of the soil. Do you know anything about these things, bulk density or particle density?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me something about what is bulk density, what is particle density, what is the difference between bulk density and particle density?
bulk density, we are including the pore spaces. Particle density, we are excluding the pore space.
Yeah. Anyone? Any other things?
Bulk density, it's a dry solids. We include particle density, solid volume include.
Yeah, that bulk density, total volume. Particle density, we include this solid volume. Then, any
bulk
other things?
Determined by soil texture, structure, contact, structure, particle density determined by organic matter, mineral matter.
Yeah, for that factors affect for the bulk density and particle density. Yeah, good. You know about the bulk density and the particle density, no? This is the way how we find the bulk density and the particle density. In the bulk density, the weight of soil solid, we have to divide it by using the bulk volume of soil. that total volume. Total volume means normally what are the content of the soil that you studied?
Volume of air, volume of water, volume of soil, solid.
Yeah, that total volume contain the volume of water, volume of air, or totally we can say the pore space volume and with the solid volume. For the finding bulk density, we use that bulk volume of the soil. The difference between the bulk density and the particle density, to find the particle density, we use the weight of soil solid divided by the volume of soil solid. Only we use the volume of the soil solid. Okay. Did you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then shall we look at introduction about the bulk density? Can anyone of you read it? Yes. Yes. Okay, good. What is the definition of the bulk density? Any of other tell me? What is the definition?
Dry weight of soil per unit.
Yeah, that bulk density means that the oven dry weight of soil per unit, or we can tell it as the oven dry weight of soil, its bulk volume. We use that total volume now. Then what are the comparisons of the bulk volume? Two. Yeah.
Solid volume and
Yeah. Organic matters means solid part. Solid, soil, water, and soil, air. We can use that word pore space for the volume of the water and volume of air, be together called as the pore spaces. Then we can tell the major two components are soil solids and the pore spaces. Okay. What is the unit of the bulk density?
Gram per
centimeter.
Gram per cubic centimeter, because volume, no, we divided in volume. Mass of the soil we divided in volume of the soil, so the unit is gram per cubic centimeter. What is the meaning of the apparent specific gravity?
the bulk density of soil divided by the density of water.
Yeah, after we finding the bulk density of the soil, we know the density of water. If we divided in the bulk density in the density of water, that one we called as the apparent specific gravity. What are the other names we can use for the apparent specific gravity?
Apparent density or volume weight.
Yeah. Then what are the factors affected for the bulk density? Texture.
Particle or structure.
Yes, arrangement of particles or structure, organic matter content. Then
Soil compaction.
yeah, soil compaction, state of packing likewise. if I ask that soil compaction is increases or soil compaction is high, then how it affect to the bulk density? Do you have any idea? If I ask likewise that bulk density is high in high compacted soil or low compacted soil?
High compacted soil.
High compacted soil.
Yeah. Okay, for your exam purposes, the questions asked likewise, not direct questions. Questions you have to write that true or false. Likewise, that madam will ask likewise questions, not direct questions. So you have to understand that how these factors affect to bulk density. Because of these factors, if this bulk density increase, if or it is decreases, likewise you have to know about the factors. Okay. Then shall we look what are the importance? Why we need to study about this bulk density study, or what is the importance of this physical property? Can anyone tell? Anyone read this slide?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, the bulk density we can use for the determine the degree of compactness as a measure of soil structure. We can use to measure the soil structure, and we can use for calculating the soil pore space. Again, anyone tell me what is the soil space?
Volume of air, volume of water.
Yeah, so we can use that bulk density values for calculating the soil pore space, and as well as the indication of the aeration status. Normally for the aerations affect this pore space to provide information on the environment available to the many soil microorganisms in this soil. These are the importance of the bulk density. Then there are two methods we can use for determination the bulk density. What are these two methods?
Co-sampler method, plot method, distribute soil.
Yes, there are two methods, co-sampler method and clod method. Normally we use that clod method for the disturbed soil. Co-sampler method we used undisturbed soil. I think in your 1-1 you study about that disturbed soil, what is the disturbed soil, undisturbed soil, no? And as well as the co-sampler also. You studied, no? Soil equipment under the practical. By using that co-sampler, we can determine the bulk density, and another method, clod method. Shall we look at the first method, co-sampler method? In your practical sessions, shall we discuss more details about these methods? Today, we are just look at the principles of these methods and the procedures. Can anyone tell the principle of the co-sampler method? Yes. Okay. Can anyone tell me what are the measurements that you need to find the bulk density? That previously we studied that formulation. No? What are the measurements that you want to find the bulk density?
Total weight of the soil.
Yeah. Then total volume. In this method, how we get the weight of the solid, mass of the solids? By using the core sampler, we can get the soil sample and we can measure that soil, no? Then we can find the mass of solids and as well as the water content of the core also. For that, we can use the core length and the diameter of the cutting edge of the sampler. All of you know about that core sampler, no? Did you remember that equipment? Core sampler?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you watched that videos also, how to get the soil samples using core sampler, no? Likewise, you have to take the samples using core sampler and get that measurements and find the bulk density. This is the procedure that you have to follow during your practical. Can anyone read that steps that you want to follow the finding bulk density using the core sampler?
Procedure.
Yes.
Drive the core sampler vertically into the level ground, depth enough to fill the sampler. Dig out the sampler by spade and remove the sample can without distributing the soil core in the can. Trim off the extra soil from the both ends of the sample can with a sharp knife. Measure the weight of the soil in the core and try in the oven at 105 degrees Celsius at least for 24 hours. Measure the on dry weight of the soil. Measure the length and inside diameter of the sample can. Volume of the soil equal inside volume of the can.
Yes, these are the steps that you have to follow. If you are coming faculty, we can do this in practically. Otherwise, we will show you the videos in your practical sessions. Just you get an idea about how to do the how to follow this core sampler method. Then first you have to drive the core sampler vertically into the level ground. That deep enough that you want to get the sample, and you have to fill the sampler. Then the sampler you have to dig out by using the spade. I think you know the spade. And without disturbing, that is the main important thing is you have to, without disturbing, you have to take that sample. Okay, and remove the sample can from the sampler can. Then trim off the extra soil from both ends of the sample can with a sharp knife. To trim off the extra soil, you can use the sharp knife. Then measure the weight of the soil in the core, and you have to dry in oven using the 105 Celsius heat. At least 24 hours. You have to keep the samples in the oven. Then after keeping the oven only, you can get the weight. You have to take the oven dried weight. Okay, it is the most important thing. You have to take the weight of oven dried soil, not the soil with water. Then measure the length and inside diameter of the sample can. These measurements you need to take the volume of the soil. Here we assume the volume of soil is equal the inside of the volume of the can. We can calculate the volume of soil by using this formula. Okay. Do you have any doubt about this procedure? No need to think much. We will do this practical. Only get an idea. these are the steps that you have to follow likewise, and these are the equipments that you want to use in this method, and these are the measurements that you want to take if you follow the co-sampler method to find the bulk density. Normally this co-sample method we used for which type of soil?
Undisturbed.
Yeah, without undisturbed soil samples, we use this co-sample method. Then the second method is clod method. This clod method used for the disturbed soil. Can anyone read the principle of the clod method? Can anyone tell me?
Determination of bulk density of disturbed soil using clod method. Principle. The bulk density can be calculated using the mass and the volume of the soil clod. The volume of the clod is equal to the volume of water displayed by the clod.
Yeah, I think you studied these principles in your physics lessons also. In this clod method, you can get the volume of the clod by the measuring the volume of water displaced when you inside that clod into the water. This practical also we will do in your practical sessions. Then you can visually observe and practically involved and get a experience about the how to find the bulk density using the clod method. Up to now, just take the idea of the principle of the method. This is the procedure that you have to follow when you are using the clod method. Can anyone tell the steps? Can you read? Yes. Thread. Yeah, if you follow this method, what are the things that you want? If you're ready to do this practical, what are the things you want to ready? The things are included in the steps now. Your measuring cylinder you want. What are the other things? The main things what you want. You need a clod, no? That you need a small clod which is you find from the field, and you have to tie it with using the thread. Then you have to yes, that you have to immerse this clod in the melted wax. Why we immerse this clod into melted wax? Why you think, why we need to immerse this clod into melted wax? We can use it as it is now. Yeah, if we directly used that water, it is that water can enter to it because that's why we immerse that clod into the melted wax. Then you have to take the measuring cylinder and that measuring cylinder fill with the known amount of water. Then that wax coated clod you have to immerse in the water of the measuring cylinder and have to note how much of the volume of water rise because of the clot. Okay, then you can calculate the volume of the that clot. This is the steps that you have to follow in the clot method. Okay. Do you have any doubts? Just remember the steps. We will do these things in your practical sessions. These are the things that you want to know related to the bulk density. What are the things that we learned about related to the bulk density? Can anyone sum it up? Before move to this particle density, what we learned about the bulk density. Who is going to summarize? Or otherwise, any volunteer? No need more details. What is bulk density? What are the methods available to determine the bulk density? Savindya. Did you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Savindya, can you tell me what is bulk density?
Sorry, ma'am.
What is the meaning of bulk density?
The oven dry weight of the soil per unit or its bulk volume.
Okay. That Arani. Registration. Yes. Yeah. How we find bulk density?
Mass of dry solid over the total volume of solid.
Yeah. Then Tanya.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the methods available for determination of the bulk density?
Core sample method.
Yes. What is the other method? Chetana.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the other method that we can use for determination of the bulk density? Can anyone tell me? There are two methods now. Method. Yeah. That which type of soils we use the clod method? Disturbed soil. Then co-sample method. Yeah, undisturbed soil. Okay. Do you have any doubts related to the bulk density? Then shall we move to the particle density? What is the meaning of particle density? Can anyone tell me?
Mass of solids per unit volume of soil solid excluding pore space.
Yeah, here that for the finding of particle density, we use the volume of this solid only. Shall we move to the introduction of the particle density? Who is going to read the slide? Join with the lecture, otherwise you feel sleepy. Can anyone read? Yes. Yeah, that bulk density and the particle density both are the physical properties of the soil. These properties are related with the porosity. That particle density means only the solid fraction, excluding the void space we use for the particle density determination in between the soil particles. Okay. We can find the particle density using the mass of solid fraction divided by the volume of solid fraction. Particle density, normally that particle density of the most minerals assume the value as the 2.65 gram per cubic centimeter. Normally we use that value. If it is that soil contain that iron oxides, that value is vary as the 2.95 gram per cubic centimeter. So that 2.65 gram per cubic centimeter, that value you have to keep in your mind for the calculations. What is the assumed value of the particle density in most mineral solids?
2.65 gram per cube.
If it is that iron oxides available in solids, what is the amount? 2.9. Yes. The principle of the determination of the particle density is the particle density can be calculated using two measured quantities, the mass of the soil sample and the volume of the particles. The mass is then divided by the volume to obtain particle density. The same thing that we studied previously. Then we move to the procedure, how you are going to determine the particle density. Can anyone read the steps?
Procedure: weight a clean tri-specific gravity bottle M1, pass soil through a 2 millimeter sieve, transfer the soil into specific gravity bottle and weight M2, fill the specific gravity bottle with distilled water and several in rotary motion. Place the specific gravity bottle in a water bath and warm. Allow the sample to cool to room temperature.
Continue.
Fill the specific gravity bottle completely with distilled water. Ensure that the capillary pore in the stopper is filled. Weight the specific gravity bottle M3 air dry soil plus water plus bottle. Empty the specific gravity bottle, wash and refill with distilled water. Weight the specific gravity bottle filled with water M4. Take separate soil sample for moisture factor determination. 105 degrees Celsius until constant weight reached. at least for 24 hours.
Okay. What are the things that you want to determine the particle density? If you are going to do the practical in laboratory, what things you need? In these steps include now the things that you want.
2 millimeter sieve.
Yes, you want a 2 millimeter sieve. That most important thing. What do you-
Specific gravity bottle.
Yeah, specific gravity bottle. Did you know the specific gravity bottle? I think you know about specific gravity bottle. So you want specific gravity bottle and 2 millimeter sieve for sieving the soil. Then that sieved soil you have to transfer to the specific gravity bottle, and you have to get the weight with the gravity bottle and the soil. Before that you can get the weight of the gravity bottle. These calculation parts we will do after doing the practical. Today we will see only the steps that what you want to follow. Then fill the specific gravity bottle with distilled water and then swirl in rotary motion to mix it. Then place the specific gravity bottle in a water bath for the warm purpose. Do you know the water bath?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then allow the sample to cool to the room temperature. Then this specific gravity bottle filled completely with the distilled water, and why we completely fill this specific gravity bottle? We want to fill that capillary pores also. Completely we want to fill to take the volume. Then weigh the specific gravity bottle that when we are weighing this specific gravity bottle, they are available that air dried soil, water and the bottle weight. Then empty specific gravity bottle, wash and refill with the distilled water. Then again weigh the specific gravity bottle with the distilled water. You can take the soil sample moisture factor determinations also after that weight reach to the constant value. While you are measuring the weight, if it is come to the constant, you can get the moisture factor reading also. For that, you have to take at least 24 hours. This is not that much important. Okay, these are the steps that you have to follow in determination of the particle density. In the determination of bulk density, there are two methods, co-sample method and Claude method, and that particle density determination method. These three practicals you have to do. If you are coming to faculty, you have to do in the laboratory. Otherwise, during your practical sessions, we will show you the videos. After that, you have to do the calculations and get the answers of bulk density and the particle density. The main purpose of today's lecture is give the introduction about what is the bulk density, what is the particle density, and what are the determination methods available in the bulk density and the particle density, and what are the steps that you have to follow to determination those two physical properties of the soil and their principles. I think you get an basic idea about related to the bulk density and the particle density determination. Am I correct? Or do you have doubts? Give me your feedback. In your practical sessions, we will study these things in detail. Then you can get more information. Do you have any doubts? Okay, can anyone give the summarize about today's lecture? What did you study in today's lecture? Any volunteer? Or shall I mention? Please raise your hands. I want to see that you are alive here. Of the bulk density.
Co-sample method and cold method.
Cloud method. For which type of soils we use the cloud method? Which type of soils? Can anyone tell me?
Step soil.
Then co-sample method?
Undisturbed.
Yeah. Why you didn't give answers? Didn't you understand? Very simple things. No?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes.
I am registration number 164. I'm Premnath.
Yeah.
Having some connection issues, ma'am, today class.
Okay. You missed the class. Oh.
No, I am in the class, but there's some connection issues. So.
Okay. Tell me what is the meaning of particle density? Soil particle density.
Difficult to say, ma'am.
Sorry. How we find the particle density in the soil? Can anyone tell me?
The mass of the soil divided into volume.
Volume of solid fraction.
Volume of soil. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between bulk density and the particle density?
Bulk density include the pore space volume.
Yeah, that we use the total volume of the soil. When we are determine the bulk density, we divided the soil mass by the volume of the soil. In the particle density, we used only the solid volume. That is the main difference between bulk density and the particle density. What is the assumed value of the particle density in the normal soil?
2.65 gram.
Yes. Okay, I think you get an idea about the bulk density and the particle density from today's session. In your practical sessions, we will study those things in detail. Okay, thank you.